how are you today? Well, I am having such a good time preparing for the delivery of my new personal resilience course. It's Personal Resilience, Increase Your Personal Resilience for Work and Life. And today, I'd just like to narrow in on one of the themes because there's so many, and plus, I don't want to give away what I'm giving in a course, an actual course that people pay quite a lot to go to. But I wanted to give a little something, a little taster, if you wish, because many times we hear the word resilience, and now it seems to be like so popular, but we don't. Most people kind of get confused, and I actually before starting, and I remember hearing the word for the first time in the way that it's used today, probably in the late 80s, so it's been a while. But yes, I'm not that young, as you can probably tell. And I remember that back then it was so confusing. And then the term changed as well. But what does it have? What is so interesting about it? You know? What is it? I mean, resilience, okay. Most people think, okay, there's something about bouncing back. Well, but what does that really mean, bounce back? I mean, does it mean that you're hit by something and you're really like you really feel like a big blow, like a failure that is really hard to take, and you just don't know how to get out of that because it's been so hard. Or you face lots of challenges and it's just one after another just coming at you, and you get this feeling you just can't cope. So if that's the case and you're talking about bouncing back, is it enough to just bounce back? Is it enough to get back where you were before? I mean, where you were before, maybe that was good before. But now you're moving forward, aren't you? So maybe what you used to do, what you used to think about things was very valid back before you had all these different challenges. For instance, let's say you're going through a transition. You're either starting a new life with a new partner, or you've changed careers, or you even say you finished high school and getting in school. So I mean, there are life transitions all throughout our lives. Maybe you've just had a new baby for the first time. So there's so many transitions and in life, and we struggle. It's not an easy thing. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, this is so exciting. But the moment you get there, you're like, okay, now this isn't that easy. It's not as easy as I thought. And so you think it would actually be quite good if I could be, just very easygoing and happy about things, but sometimes it's just not that easy. And so how do we increase that resilience? Yes, here comes the word again. So that we can not only bounce back and be as we were before, because that's not really what we want to be, because we're actually in a new situation. We need something new. We need to find out how to do things in a different way, for instance, right? I mean, here in Christchurch, there were earthquakes, and in many parts of the world there are also natural disasters, and life before and after is so different, and you really have to think out of the box because things just do not work the same way, and it's really radical the way that you have to deal with things right then and there, and then also figure out how life goes on with all the challenges, people losing jobs, and then, okay, what job can I take on? And then the work world is changing hugely. So now, in order to keep ahead of time and, be competitive, even to find a new job, you have to reinvent yourself in a way. So how do you keep ahead of that? How do you bounce back? And more than bounce back, because again, you don't really want to bounce back. How do you bounce forward so you have a competitive advantage? That's a big question, isn't it? Yes. So during the course, I talk about resilience, and not only talking, it's really experiential. So what can you do? And I'll give you a little something, because I realize that, goodness, time just flies and I'm past the 5 minutes. I promise it would be only 5 minutes. But I also want you to have something to take away. Now, if you're finding that you're struggling with something and you feel even stuck and you want to figure out how to do things, first of all, you have to believe that there is another way. You have to believe that you can figure it out. So there's something about our thinking that maybe we're not so capable that is actually getting in the way. So the first thing is believe in yourself. Believe that you do have the possibility, you do have the resources, and that way you will want to figure it out. You won't have all these thoughts telling you, oh no, I don't know if I can do this. This is very difficult. I've never done this before. Oh goodness. Oh, I'm just exhausted. And all these negative thoughts that just get in the way of you being able to get creative. So changing the words, changing the language that you use, and giving yourself more empowering language, being more empowering. What you say to yourself, that will make a difference. So just give that a try. When you see yourself saying, this is too difficult, I don't know if I can manage, for instance, because you won't say it, you'll think it. But I know we think this. We often do. So if you find yourself in that situation, then stop yourself and try to replace it with something that's far more useful than that. Hey, you can do this. I've done something similar in the past. It was also something difficult, but I managed. Hey, if I managed back then, I'm sure I'll be able to manage this time, and see how that goes. And let me know how that goes, and also make comments right down there below. Thank you, and talk to you next time. Bye now.